let's talk April's TBR. Most of my TBR this month will be on my iPad, like most of the country and the world. My library's closed, and I don't really have, I've read all my books that I own, and so I'm just going to focus on the e-libraries from like Libby and Access 360. I'm a member of two different local libraries, and they each use a different ebook system, which is nice because that kind of gives me more options. And the first book I will be reading, I guess listening, is the Audible of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone by J.K. Rowling. Audible's being really cool right now, and they're offering a lot of their things for free, including the Stephen Frye version of the audiobook. I've listened to all of them by Jim Dale, but because I live in the US, it's hard for me to access the UK versions, so I haven't been able to do British versions, so that's going to be my audiobook. I'll probably add another audiobook, it just kind of depends on time and stuff like that. And the next book on the list is Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, which I will be reading for this month's books I hated in high school or middle school. I read this book my sophomore year. I don't know why I didn't like it. I just remember not enjoying it. I didn't quite see why people thought it was good. And I appreciate what Mary Shelley did for women in writing, but that doesn't mean I think it's a good book. So I just thought maybe many years later I might have a different viewpoint on it. What I want from a story is different than what I wanted in 10th grade. Did I say 7th? I think I mean 10th. Nobody knows what day it is. Next on the list is the graphic novel version of The Lightning Thief. I read these books a while ago, but this year one of my goals was to read one graphic novel a month, and so I thought I would use this one. I haven't read any graphic novel adaptations of larger books. Like I did a Babysitter's Club was the first one I read. That was a couple months ago before I made this challenge for myself. So I just thought it would be interesting. I'm not a big fan of graphic novels, but I kind of want to learn to like them. So I just thought, by challenging myself and using books I've read before might be kind of helpful. And I've learned things I like and learned things I don't like about graphic novels doing such things. Next on the list is Nevermoor, The Trials of Morrigan Crow by, what is her name? Jessica Townsend. This was recommended to me through Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. And I like YA middle grade books, and they're kind of fun, and it's a good time to read something that's more fun and less hardcore, I guess. I'm about, 10% into it, and I'm enjoying it. It was a little hard for me to get into at first. It's hard to switch from like more adult level to middle grade, but I'm enjoying it. I think it's really interesting, and I'm excited that there's a second one, and the third one comes out later this year, so it'll be interesting to follow as that happens. Next on the to read list is The Mystery of the Blue Train by Agatha Christie. One of the other challenges I did this year, or challenged myself to do this year, is to read one Agatha Christie a month. So far I've been successful only once this year, and that was in February, and I read Murder on the Nile? Maybe? I think that's what it was called. I don't remember. But like the first one I read was like this whole compendium of stories featuring Miss Marple. Didn't like it. Second one I tried to read was A Murder is Announced. Another Miss Marple, didn't like it. There might be a possibility that I don't like Miss Marple mysteries. I don't know. The Mystery of the Blue Train is a Perot mystery, so we'll see how we get along with that. So last on the list, and it's an actual physical copy, and I've had this copy forever from the library. It's The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. I checked this book out probably late February. I've gotten 107, let's see how many pages. I've gotten 105 pages into it. I really enjoyed the first one. For some reason, I'm really struggling with the second one. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's just a little bit too hard for me right now, or just I'm not enjoying the subject matter as much. Who knows? But I'm gonna challenge myself to try to finish this, because this is one of the few library books I actually still have. I've renewed it 3 or 4 times, so I should probably get it finished before the library opens again at the end of the month. The previous one, the Mistborn, whatever it was called, I don't remember, was the very first Brandon Sanderson I'd ever read. And it was interesting, but we'll just have to see how it goes when I get to it. I'll just have to kind of force myself. I have it separated into a bunch of different sections. I don't know if you can see that. So then I'm going to try to challenge myself to like read a section a day, starting probably sometime after I get Frankenstein read, so the 8th. I think that's it. I mean, things may change. I might add or subtract depending on how I'm feeling or what's available from the library. Or if I find a book I didn't realize I owned sitting somewhere, I might read that. I know that I have Jane Eyre somewhere. I might reread Pride and Prejudice at some point. Probably, maybe. So I don't know. We'll just kind of see what April brings. I hope everybody's staying safe. Wash your hands and have a good April.